160 days ago, I put nothing but soil from a forest in a jar to see what plants and yes, animals would appear. Watch this video till the end, trust me, the dirt won't disappoint. Towards the end of the video, I'm also going to show you how you can do this, in case you want to put dirt in a jar yourself. Never mind, let's get into it. It took 28 days for these pathetic plants to grow, so I wasn't expecting much from this jar, but it surprised me, because by day 42, the plants had become a little less pathetic, and the first animal appeared. Can you spot it? You were probably expecting a bear or something, but it's a mite. On day 45, a plant was growing in the ground, like all plants do, so I don't know why I'm showing you this, but you're welcome. Please someone teach me how to film jars, because this sucks. The plants are growing, which shouldn't be a surprise because they're plants, but keep an eye on this one. By day 160, it is going to fill up the whole jar. Day 75 is going to be a special day, not only because the moss is coming in nice, and the jar without moss is like going to the toilet without your phone, it's boring, but also because our main man, new Bob, appeared. Now Bob can live a long, full life of about 3 days in the wide open world of this small jar. But don't worry, Bob has company. He is not alone. These are other Bobs. They are springtails. They will help keep the jar clean by eating mold. That small orange ball you can barely see because the footage sucks is another species of springtail. On day 80 I saw a problem I needed to take care of soon. Not this plant, but these grasses. Why are they a problem? Because I have grass, that's why. On this day, other Bob showed up again. Here you can see its tail that they use as a spring. That is why they are called springtails. And here is some more information you probably didn't want and didn't need. You're welcome. The grasses were growing a lot, and by day 90 I really had to do something soon. The rest of the jar looked good, but if I didn't do anything soon, the jar would end up looking like this. Unfortunately, I had some more important matters to attend to that day. On day 93, I had no choice but doing something about the grass. It was forming reproductive organs, so I brought the jar back into my high-tech studio. This is the behind-the-scene look that no one asks for. Doesn't this scream professional? It's time to finally remove the grass with my super steady hands. Pushing the dirt back a bit. As you can see, the grass already had formed a pretty big root system. And the seed head. This is basically grass balls, and you don't want balls in your jars, so I'm removing the other grass too. This footage is sped up 5 times. That means I'm struggling very hard here. Perfect. This footage is sped up 6 times. That means I'm struggling even harder here. I'm better with my fingers. Putting the plant back in. This is the jar after the surgery. This bald spot will be filled in soon. The grass was gone, but I wasn't done with it yet. I had to make an example out of it, and I had to show the other grass it shouldn't mess with me. This is what happens when you grow in my jar. Snip snip. On day 100, the grass was already replaced by tiny mushrooms. Are you team mushroom or team grass? Let me know in the comments. Besides that, nothing cool happened. But what did you expect? You're watching a video about a jar of dirt. Remember, in 50 days, this plant in the front will have outgrown the jar. I don't know the English name of this plant, but this is the Latin name. And as you can see, the bald spot is almost gone. On day 120, you know the drill. Plants have grown, much wow. But on day 127, something amazing actually appeared. Gotcha. But something cool actually appeared. Can you spot it? It's not with the big plant, but with the smaller plants. One of them starting forming flowers. Wow, so pretty. By day 140, the plant was getting really big. It is almost filling up the whole jar. But it still fits. That's what she said. And that finally brings us to day 160. Whoa. If I open the jar, the plants even come out. Check out these filming skills. We call it a drive-by shot. Don't click off the video yet, I'm still going to show you how to put dirt in a jar. Yeah, can't blame you if you click off now. But I'm also going to give you a quick look at my jar collection, so if you want to see that, stick along. Quick question, should I cut off a part of this plant? Or just let it grow and risk that it breaks because it's getting too big? Let me know below. Step 1. For the jar of dirt from a forest, look for a dense, ancient forest like this one and collect some dirt. You need a jar to make a jar. There are links in the description if you want to buy something like this. Or you could use an old pickle jar or something. Remember when I said I put nothing but dirt in a jar? I kinda lied, but only a little bit. This layer of rocks is used to hold excess water. It won't affect anything that grows and it isn't really necessary. Next step, put dirt in jar. Next step is essential for the success of your jar. Use a tiny rake, or whatever you call this tool in English, to rearrange the soil a bit. Yeah, that did nothing. Remember when I said I added only dirt and rocks? I lied again, but you only have to add water when the dirt is too dry. And I haven't added any water since the start. Since some of you asked, and I am a professional dirt in jar collector, I wanted to show you a quick look at a part of my collection. Whoa, you weren't supposed to see that. That was my only fan. I'd like to apologize to mankind for that joke. This little jar is my first dirt in jar jar. That word is becoming to sound weird. Jar. Most of you will know this one. This is the jar that blew up my channel. It got 1.5 million views and I have no clue why, because look at it, it looks like shit. This is the first time I've shown this one. I'm not going to tell you what it is in it yet, but feel free to take a guess. This is one of my terrariums that can't handle the heat very well. The heat of these banging millipedes. Banging and eating is the only thing these guys do. A close-up you probably didn't want. Here's one eating a piece of cucumber. This is my biggest terrarium. It's a very big terrarium with a lot of species in it. As you can see, it looks pretty healthy. A lot of plants are growing and it even got a pond. Oh, but what's that? Of course, banging millipedes. What else would it be? The last terrarium I want to show you is my most recent one, the Venus flytrap terrarium. In my previous video, I let this plant eat my finger and I gave it that fly. Now I know your attention span is probably running out, but I got a great video for you lined up in the end screen. Thank you to everyone that watched, and thank you to all old and new patrons. Every new patron gets an animal. Go watch this video next. Thanks.